You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lain, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. And I've got some updates I'm doing in my garden I thought I would share with you. One is I'm starting to really cut back some of those plants that are just heat stressed. They've stopped blooming. They're just not pretty anymore, like my California poppies. All those early spring bloomers. This week, I took a lawnmower to them and I just, mainly my wildflowers, I just cut them right back. Don't be afraid. In fact, don't tolerate ugly plants. Your house, your time, your just experiences should be surrounded by beauty, not ugly plants bringing you down. And so I just went, that is it. The butterflies had stopped coming. Roadrunners were in there. So they were going back and forth looking for lizards and bugs, I'm sure. Probably what was really going on, I truly believe, snails were in the patch of wildflowers and they were in there picking off the snails, which good. I love roadrunners. They eat rattlesnakes, lizards, snails, slugs, grasshoppers. They're ferocious when it comes to the garden. They're great. And they come in pairs typically. So husband-wife team I've got hanging out in my backyard that kind of keeps things cleaned up. I like them. So, and they're fun to watch, the kind of antics. That and the hummingbirds inside the garden center. They're everywhere. They're just, the babies have hatched. They got little ones, the big ones, the whole families of hummingbirds buzzing around, checking out all the flowers. But I've deadheaded a lot of them, and they're actually starting to form new flower buds. I cut the really ugly ones back. So my California poppies, they stopped blooming. They've had long seed pods, and I went, that is enough. You're bringing my gardens down. I just took a mower and cut them right back, which prompted all the daisies to go crazy, the yarrows to really start to take off. I deadheaded the pintas. They're a hummingbird and butterfly magnet. The penstemon, they were beautiful green plants with all these dead spent flowers on top. I just chopped those, I just took a hedger and went boom, 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 popped them right off. And the gardens look fresher, cleaner, better. Then I fertilized that whole patch with the 744 all-purpose plant food. And lo and behold, the grasses really took off after that because they weren't competing with all those flowers. All the flowers were shading all the fescues and the coral forester grasses. Now they could have the sunshine and just take off. And I had fertilized them. If I could just get a little more rain, that'd be the magic. I think you're set up for a whole new fall season. So we're starting to shift in. School started. So you're starting to see school is always an indicator that fall is here. I know it's a month off, month and a half actually, but really the fall plants start to show up now. And it starts with echinacea, rudbeckias, coreopteris. There's a whole series of heat-loving plants that love the sunshine of this time of year, but will keep on blooming once they set those flowers. As it cools down, they will keep blooming even longer into the fall season. They're some of the best perennial flowers you'll find. And now's the time you shop those. You don't even find those variety. You don't find phlox in the spring. You don't find gaillardia. You don't find blanket flower in the spring. You find them in the summer. Now's when you plant them. Now's when you put them in. You get them in. They start to root. Yeah, you'll have to water a bit right now, but as it cools down and we get some rain, they just keep blooming and blooming and blooming. And so I think maybe next week, the first crop of mums, snapdragons for sure, fall marigolds will be here. You're starting to see that fall mix. I think the week after that, we've got the fall vegetables showing up. And so it's no longer tomato, and pepper season is now going to be your your cabbage, Brussels sprouts, spinach, all these. If you're harvesting the foliage or you're harvesting the flower, like a broccoli, that's a fall crop. You plant those now and you harvest those through the end of the year. It's actually quite amazing. Often I harvest for Thanksgiving and for Christmas fresh vegetables. It's all about the crop rotation. If you're into raised beds or those troughs, we call this square foot gardening. As that squash starts to fade or something, you're looking for reasons to pull something out of that space so you can, okay, it's done. You got your harvest. Get rid of this thing so you have room to put the next crop rotation, which would be your fall vegetables. And so we've got plenty of growing season left. I mean, a lot, especially here in the mountains. It's cooling down. So yeah, we get to 90. Yay. Okay, Cottonwood, you get to 90, a little bit more. Sedona, a little bit more. Williams, a little bit less. So, but basically we're in that 90-degree weather and it's dry. And so the plants love that. The cloud cover, even if you don't get rain, that cloud cover with that warmth, it makes plants grow like crazy. They love it. They just love the energy. They put all their energy into new long growth. Your evergreens will start pushing new growth. If you're doing a screening plant like an Arizona cypress, it just flushes. Junipers flushes new growth. Red tip photinia, Elaeagnus. You can just go on and on. There's some plants that love the hot weather of late summer going into fall. They actually grow more. And that's why I call this the second growing season. As soon as you get your first rain, maybe second rain, it's actually a full-on second growing season, and it's more successful than the spring season. Spring, the ground is so cool that you're coming off of winter. You put something in the ground, the roots just sit there and go, I don't know, I'm not quite ready yet. I don't feel it yet. And so it just sits there. Then you start to get that first nice mid-May warmth. You start to see it take off and it leaves out and starts to go. You do that now, it just instantly takes off because the ground is so warm. Make sure the soil is moist so you're not putting things into dry holes. That's the biggest mistake people make new to the area. So you open up the hole. I actually fill mine half with water. I'm hydrating the soil around that's going to surround this plant. Then I'll mix my mulch up, backfill around that new planting, whether it's a tree or a shrub or a vine. Ooh, now's the time to put vines in. Oh my gosh, they're growing like crazy right now. And so backfill with that around the root ball, water it in really good, and they just take off. So I've planted, let me think here, 4 Elaeagnus or silverberry bushes, 3 very large silk tassel. It's a native evergreen shrub. It's good. I'm screening off an area. I wanted shrubs that they go back there. Planted a new desert willow. They're so pretty right now. If you see a tree with this purple flower, that's desert willow. They're just growing out there wild. It's a native. It's one of us. And so I've planted one of those, only I planted the Bubba series. Yes, like Bubba Gum or Bubble Gum. Bubba. Leave the L out, not bubble. Bubba Gum, desert willow. It's a non-seeding variety. So this variety, it's a new variety, brand new, of desert willow. Doesn't form seed pods. We bred that out of it. So it now focuses all of its energy on flowers. When that flower is done, it kind of goes, 4 more flowers. I should be flowering more. And so it just pulsates waves of flowers from now through through Halloween. It's an amazing native tree. It's up maybe 12, 15 feet tall. Usually it's vase shaped, so it's a big upright shrub, and so or short tree, multi-stemmed tree, and it just starts leafing out, and then it starts blooming, and it just does this with literally hundreds of flowers. It's worth taking a look if you're new to the area, you're not sure of natives and how to use them, what they look like. Now's your time to look at them because you can go, whoa, yeah, that's worthy. I like that. I'll take two. Let's put them in the front yard on either side of that aisle. That'll be pretty coming down the driveway. Now's the time to look at Kennett Watters with our Monster Monsoon Sale, our only sale of the year.
Truckloads of fresh autumn maple, aspen, and spruce have just arrived, and we need room, so summer plants must go.
Perennials, trees, shrubs, even pottery must go, and it's worth your while with plant sales at 25, 45, even 65% off.
It's Watters' only sale of the year at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Where people who love great plants at sale prices, they love to shop. And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your gardening questions. Just what are neighbors talking about? And I think we can learn some things just by hearing what other gardeners are seeing. I don't know if you saw that, Lisa.
What?
The customer shot me a huge photo, like close up. He must have a brand new cell phone with photo, whatever, enhanced tomato worm. Which on the screen is as big as my monitor, like it's 20 inches tall. It's like huge, eating his tomatoes. I went, ooh, okay. There, that was in Chino Valley. I went, they're out. So here we go. That's the benefit of gardeners sharing with each other. And that's the goal of this segment.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back.
It is good to be back.
Sure.
So what kind of questions you got, or what are you thinking about this week?
Well, I forgot to bring my glasses, so
Here,
I'm
take
gonna
mine.
have to hold.
Here, I got an extra set of cheaters for you. Sorry about that. You folks on the podcast, the video piece, Amazon, or no, who does video? Spotify and Apple does the video piece. Everyone else just does audio.
Yes.
You get to see my beautiful gal and her. Now that's what is that? Diamond studded cheaters.
I'm like, you had these?
How
did you have diamond
I
studded
needed
cheaters?
something to read. I needed some help, and they were sitting. A customer left them behind. I went, I could use those real quick. No one's watching. I'm here for you. My name's Ken.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, these are pretty fancy diamond studded cheaters I'm reading through. Okay. First question is from Marcy out in Chino. She wants to know what causes the cracking on the top of her tomatoes, and to know, is there any way to prevent that or help that?
So where's she at, or what's
Chino? Marcy. So
that is caused. So when tomatoes crack, or if they get real thick, kind of tough skin, they're all related. That's a difference between daytime temperatures and morning. So in the morning, they're nice and plump. They fill up. During the heat of the day, they kind of shrink and they shrivel. And that fluctuation in the actual fruit size, no, you don't see it changing, but you can see the cracks in it. So you know that this ebb and flow, this plumpiness and then dryness. And so more consistency in the watering is the key. So for me, so if you were tuned in back in April when we were putting our tomatoes in, I said use Aqua Boost crystals. And the reason I did that was so you don't get cracking. So because I just knew it was coming. So these are crystals you pour down at the root level and they swell up, hold up the moisture. And then as the plant needs more moisture, it'll take it from the crystals, the Aqua Boost crystals, instead of from the fruit. So you're evening out that water or irrigation pattern. So what you might want to do is come in and get a bottle of that. Just poke a hole down where the roots are, pour it in there. Just do that 3 or 4 times around as best you can. Ideally, if you can put it right underneath the roots where the roots grow through it, that's perfect. But you know what? Life isn't perfect. And you sometimes just taking a big old screwdriver, poking a hole, sprinkling some in there, that's good enough. A teaspoon over here, a few teaspoons, all of a sudden you got this thing going. And the new fruits won't crack at that point. So that's probably the easiest solution. The other one I did see just on tomatoes, I had a customer at the last week's class. They brought a picture of their tomato. It was a small, maybe a golf ball sized tomato, and had classic blossom midrot. Wow. So the half of the fruit was blackened. The other half was nice. And she goes, what's going on, Ken? I need help me. And I went, well, that's classic blossom midrot. You need some yield booster. I gave her this bottle of liquid calcium, and it had a picture of that same exact picture she had on her fruit. It's right on the front of the label. So just spray this once a week. All the new fruit will come out clean. So as you see things happening, talk to us, bring a picture, we deal with this all day long. And so, and we can usually pick it up and we just know, like, we've seen it so many times. We just know, like in our sleep, we dream about this stuff, literally. Rotting fruit. It's not good. You can solve this. And it's usually a mineral deficiency or something going on.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps her.
Right. So next question is from Janet. She's in Prescott. She said her roses don't seem to be putting on any new buds. She wants to know help get buds going on there. Also, she's fighting aphids.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
This is super easy.
Yeah. So just need some help.
Yeah, Janet, super easy. So you need to come in. This is why they make rose food with systemic. The entire reason they have this one food for roses, because it solves all your problems. So what you're having is you don't have enough food, or specifically phosphorus. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. That middle number causes fruits and flowers, especially on roses. So give it some rose food has that juiced up, designed specifically for roses. So give it some rose food, but for you, because you've got aphids, rose food with the bug additive in there. The plant will absorb the nutrients and the bug control and put it inside the flower bud that will keep the flowers, from getting aphids, keep the stems. It taints the sap. The inside of that rose goes from inside out. It will also eliminate thrip and some other nasty bugs that like fruits, like roses. So rose food with systemic. We've got 2 sizes here at the garden center. We've got one that's works better at this altitude. Come talk to us. We're at Easy Drive.
If you have a bad aphid outbreak and you want to treat it right away.
Oh, sure.
Also using the spinosad soap.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Excellent product for getting rid of aphids.
Bring a picture. You bring a picture to us so we can help you analyze how bad. If it's just a few aphids, rose food with systemic will do it. Or they're only going to get worse. We're in the peak of the growing season right now for everything, including aphids. And they only get worse as you get into fall. So that spinosad soap is like magic. It's like instantly your problems are all solved. And the long-term solution will be the rose food with the systemic. Use them in conjunction with each other.
Right. All right.
And the best flowers of the year for roses is
Definitely.
The best flowers are in autumn. Everyone, spring gets all the glory because everyone's bored. They haven't seen a flower in 6 months. But really, the biggest showiest. That's why all the county fairs, roses in the fall or late summer, is because of that. The best flowers are then. So you get plenty of time. Go for it.
Oh, definitely. All right. Last question I think we have time for is from Jake. Says he's trying to decide between Aspen and Birch.
Okay.
Wants to know, is there one preferable than the other, or any other good trees that you can think of that have a more narrow, he likes the bark, the white bark, that kind of stuff.
So Jake, so in the West, we're the southern tips of the Rockies. Aspen is the #1 seller. In the Midwest, the Midwestern folks like their birch because that's native over there. And so I would say they're both good choices. The narrower of the two would be the aspen. So quaking. Now you got to also say, I'm assuming he's talking shopping here and not just phoning in, but there is a Swiss or European aspen. You don't want that one. So you want the native one, the quaking. So Populus tremuloides, you want that one here because that's our native aspens. It's going to perform better. Exceptional. There's some beautiful specimens in your neighborhood. I guarantee you, you've got aspens there. They adapt to the clay. They just take our wind. They just grow well here. Birch also does really well. Gets a little wider than aspen does. It's not aggressive. It's not bad. It's got more of a weeper. Aspens are kind of upright, goes to the moon. Birch are kind of more weepy, kind of softer, flowy, just feely kind of thing. Some of it comes down to what look do you want, and then if you want to go more native, most of the white trunked trees in your neighborhood here are quaking aspens. You've got Aspen Creek right there, just outside of town. You got aspens kind of up in Williams. They're famous. And so if you want that, you can have that in your own backyard or front yard or whatever. We just planted 5 of them. We donated them to who was that? Sun Up Lions Club. They were helping with some new teacher housing up near Taylor's Hicks. We put 1 quaking aspen in front of every single. We just donated some trees to every single unit, so it'd make it beautiful. We want our teachers. We want what's best for our teachers. That's all we got for this segment. We'll be right back after this. Watters garden companion plants for August are radio red salvias, trumpeting vine, and butterfly bush.
Monarch and swallowtail butterflies flock to Watters butterfly bush with spectacular 8-inch flowers filling the yard with fragrance and beauty.
Heat, drought, wind only make this shrub bloom more. Tough enough to grow in clay, but hardy enough to shine in containers.
With so many colors to choose, every yard should have at least 2.
You'll only find impressive butterfly bush at Watters Garden Center in Prescott. All right, so I spent last week, I had a business trip that took me to the Texas Nursery and Landscape Association's annual event. So this is all of the growers, retailers, architects, folks involved in our industry met in San Antonio, Texas. It didn't take me very much to get to a trip to San Antonio because I've got 2 of my 4 kids live in San Antonio, and the other one of my 4 kids lives in Austin. So we just said, let's make a trip of it. And so, and I did the show last week. And so this is a lot of the Western agaves, hardy cactus, some very rustic slate or stone benches, fountains. It's just interesting Texas kind of Southwestern mix. It's unique. You're not going to find it anywhere else in Arizona. And so we've got those things coming. And so it's a good trip. So Lisa and I, we get back after being gone for a week, and we really went after, make sure the irrigation is set, make sure everything's hydrated. Let's make sure things are blooming, deadhead things, trim things back. So when we get back, all will be well. Well, we've learned years ago that one of the costs of traveling, whether we're going to Europe or going to visit grandkids or just a long weekend, is we're going to lose or have a stressed out plant when we get back. And sure enough, I thought I had everything perfectly honed in, and I lost one of my big cachet flowering baskets. It was right up front by the front door. It was glorious when we left, and I wasn't there to watch it for like 8 days, and it overwatered. It just stopped blooming. It's had not one bloom left on this doggone thing. It was beautiful. This thing was standing 2 feet tall, 1.5 feet wide. It was vase-shaped, glorious, bloomed. It just said, welcome home. I'm so glad you're here. And then we get back after a week, and it is completely out of bloom. It's got dead tips to it. I'm going, there's probably no recovery from this, or I don't want to take that time. I just picked it up, took it to the trash can because it was trash day this week, put it right in there, said, see you later. It's been a good ride. Cost of travel, whether it's a cruise or whatever you're doing, I just figured, I have house sitters. They come look at things. They make sure, but they just don't water things. They just aren't, they're taking care of the dogs, not so much the plants. And so usually the dogs come back overweight. They put on a pound or 2. They're so happy. And then we come back home. They're going, you need to walk more, dogs. And the plants need to be trimmed back even more. So don't beat yourself up. It's just a plant. I mean, if we lost a dog, we won't go down that path. And TMI, I can share too much sometimes, our philosophy, but we do like to travel. We have kids kind of all over the place, and we like to go see them. And so sometimes to hug a grandbaby, it's okay to lose a plant and come back and start over again. We're probably a week away, maybe 2 by Labor Day at most. The fall crops will be harvested. Right now they're up. They're not quite full enough. They need a few more days to fill out and flush out. These are the winter blooming or winter harvesting vegetables. The fall flowers like snapdragons and pansies and mums and asters and phlox and all these other fall and winter flowers we're almost in this transition. The marigolds will be coming in. So it's that kind of thing. So it's not done planting. What we have are 3 very distinct seasons. And so we have a very strong spring season. Everyone knows spring, but really the season before that is early spring. These are plants that love bright days, but it's still cold. It's still through April, it can still frost. And so you need plants that can take that. Then you got spring, the big planting season. This is May and June, just spring, spring, spring. June is really, it's the start of summer planting, but summer really is July, August into September. You've got summer. These are crepe myrtles and rose of Sharons, and the roses bloom all over again. These plants that just love the heat. They love the sunshine. They wish it was 24/7 sun all the time. It never even they wish it was 90 all the time. That's what's blooming right now. And now we're transitioning. We're going to come down. The days are already getting a little bit shorter. You can sense it. If we just had a rainstorm or two, we'd really be there. But now we're going into that fall season. This is mums and asters and flowering phlox, and the marigolds are looking even better. The fall vegetables, your tomatoes stop blooming, but then your cabbages and your lettuce and your spinach and your Brussels sprouts, they all love that fall season. And then we go into winter. And those are basically your seasons for the year. But I just had to share that story. Don't beat yourself up because you lost a plant while you're traveling. That is part of the cost. When you book that airline ticket or that cruise, just go, oh, and I need an extra $100 for my plants that are going to suffer. I will just have to go to the garden center. Come on down to Watters. We'll get you a new one. For $20, you can have an amazing new plant right out there, and it didn't cost you that much. Be right back after this. Hi, Watters with the plants of the week and our gold flame honeysuckle.
Wonderfully fragrant. These blooms are in full color right now and will stay that way until the first frost of October.
These pink and gold blooms are irresistible to hummingbirds and butterflies alike.
Excellent as a quick ground cover, but robust enough to climb vertical structures and fences.
Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott. And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week and just shares what she sees, what she's hearing, what she sees in neighborhoods, in her own gardens, which are stunning right now.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, your sunflowers are over the top. We had the grandkids in the backyard, and they're a toddler, so barely speaking, barely walking, but loves to hang out with grandparents and go pick flowers.
Yep.
So for about an hour, we went and picked flowers and said, here, go give this to your mom. And so we made a bouquet of flowers, and he just thought that was like the best, like awe-inspiring. So hydrangeas and sunflowers and begonias and ornamental grasses. It was all good. So
he had fun doing that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Kids are
It's
easy.
fun to watch him do.
I had him pick a fruit, a big old tomato. He goes, apple.
Yeah.
Going, no, it's a tomato. No, apple. Just something red. Okay. Try some. He goes, duh, that's not an apple. He actually picked a second one on his own. He went, oh, that was fun. And started eating that one. So
I know, it was weird. It's like the first one was more ripe.
Yeah.
Looked beautiful.
Yeah, as big as he could
okay.
barely hold it. It's bigger than his hand. He could barely pick it up. It was so big. So, but just gosh, Nico.
Yeah, it's been fun having them visit. Always fun to have the grandkids. And I love the fact that all of the kids have enjoyed being out in the yard with us and picking flowers. I'm so glad we have that for them to do that. It's fun.
They're from Texas. Austin area, San Antonio. So we got several kids in, and they're in that part of Texas.
It's hot.
It's humid. It's not that hot. It's just humid. And so you're gooey all the time. They're coming out here going,
it's beautiful.
It's 80s and dry. This is like perfect.
And we're going, it's hot.
Yeah,
it's humid.
It's all just what you know.
It is.
So what do you got for us?
So
Some garden tips.
It's funny how this time of year, the question I get asked the most is, do I still have time to plant?
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
And I'm
I
like,
don't know. I
it's
don't get it.
it's
It's all the
barely the
Phoenix
middle of
people.
August. Yeah.
Something
I'm like,
that'll-
yes, you do have time to plant. And it's a wonderful time to plant. The
Ideal.
soils are nice and warm, so they're going to root out. We're past the worst of the heat. We
Yeah,
have some higher
absolutely.
humidity in the area. So yes, you can put in your perennials now, your shrubs, your roses, your trees, whatever you want to put in. Now is a great time to do it.
We just had a landscape team come in, and they must have bought, I don't know, a truckload. So they're putting a whole landscape in, and I'm sure they'll have more success
Mhm.
just because they're putting it in now.
Right.
I'm sure they're putting irrigation, lighting, all
Mhm.
the other stuff. It was a nice landscape, but they were coming in, and the owner wanted them buying them from. They wanted specifically higher quality plants. So they had their guys come in here to pick them up. So I had a list and kind of helped them out.
Yeah,
Great time to plant.
it is. And we're still getting fresh stuff in.
Yeah.
That's the other thing to think of, because a lot of places they're like, yeah, we're done. Season's over. We're not bringing any more stuff in. Well, we got 2 trucks this week.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have beautiful crepe myrtles in. We've got a rose of Sharon, potentias. We still have a lot of lovely roses in stock. So do not neglect planting this
Now,
time
with
of year.
that being said, before you go into jump into your, those are beautiful flowers. The studio smells really good. We do have our Monster Monsoon sale starting this weekend.
That
It's
is
just
true.
kind of, it's what we're doing with that is, yeah, but you said there's time to plant, but you're clearing out all your stuff. No, it's only the spring and summer stuff.
Mhm.
We have a whole series of fall and winter plants that are doing, truckloads are coming. This is the transition from
Mhm.
spring to the next season, and we'll skew it towards fall color, winter evergreens. That's when all the best maples come in, your asters and phlox, and so you'll see this turn. We just don't want a winter. We don't want all that few last things left.
Right.
We got fresh new stuff coming. We don't need it here. We'd rather have you have it at your yard and just discount it hard, so you're motivated to do that.
Right.
So anyway,
Definitely.
that's the difference.
Yes. So yes, lots of really great bargains in perennials, trees, shrubs, roses. Check that out, definitely. But we have some lovely new stuff.
Brand new things.
So I brought this one in. This is the saffron echinacea.
Yeah.
The thing that I noticed about this, and I thought I was just losing my mind, but I was putting them away. I'm like, what's that smell? I've never
they do smell
thought
good.
coneflower had that kind of fragrance to them, but this one particularly does. This one's called the saffron. It's an orange, real bright orange
saffron
color.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody knows what saffron is. So, but just had a really nice fragrance to it. So I was so surprised.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah.
This is a great bird pollinator kind of plant too. So birds, the butterflies will like it, and then your smaller birds will use it as a food source in the winter. It loves full sun. Animals generally don't eat it. I don't know about this color, but your grandparents grew the basic purple.
Yeah.
Now we've got reds and sombreros and apricots and saffrons and all these other colors.
I probably have 5 different colors of the echinacea in right now.
Yeah.
And now is its season. It looks beautiful this time of year.
Now I'm putting together a video right now. I was just in Naperville, which is where our seed breeder is. They got a ton of test gardens, and so they have an entire test garden of nothing but echinaceas.
Really?
All the colors.
Wow.
And I got a video of that, and I want to share that with folks in our social media folks, just so they can see what a test garden looks like. This is massive acreage. This is how we test to see how long they bloom, what bugs they get, how much sun they take, and how they're actually going to be genetics, how upright, or do they spread out, or what do they do? And then from there, we take the cuttings and the seeds, and we grow that from there. And that's how we're looking at these test gardens now for spring next year. But I thought, that's kind of neat. I think gardeners would really like that and see the differences.
That's beautiful.
I'll try to post that this week.
Yeah, definitely. So the other flowers that we have in right now is salvia. So this one is the Purple Vibe Ignition Salvia. It's a great little salvia to put in. You want to attract hummingbirds? Oh my gosh, put in a salvia.
Crazy, yeah.
So we have this little hummingbird that's been hanging around the garden center. He's like almost tame at this point. And there's certain plants he loves. The pentas is one of them, the lantana, and then the salvia.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't matter what color, whether it's the white, the purple, the hot lips, the red, he loves them all. He's a cute. I mean, he's a real little baby. He's adorable. We're trying to think of a name
Have you
for
named
him.
it yet?
No, we're trying to think of a
I'm
name.
voting Clarice. I'm thinking that's a good one. That's a hummingbird name.
Clarice.
Chloe.
Chloe, I like.
Only it's a male.
Well,
It's
how do you
Chloe.
know?
Because it's got a red throat.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Because I know my hummingbirds.
Never mind. Okay. So the other plant that I wanted to show you guys this week, this is the Rudbeckia. This one is Prairie Sun. And it's got a bright yellow bloom that's probably, 4 or 5 inches across.
It's almost as big as your hand or darn close to it.
Absolutely gorgeous. You definitely need it in a pot by your front door.
It's fun to
or
play
out
with
in
this
your
on the
perennial.
camera.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know you get distracted. Or putting it in a perennial bed. It's just so bright and colorful right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. We also got some Rudbeckia in, we got Echinacea in, which is a cross between a Rudbeckia and an Echinacea.
Yeah.
And they're kind of a brown, they'd be gorgeous with this. I should have brought one too. They're kind of a brown amber color with some touches of yellow. It would be very striking to have.
Looks like an
those
Arizona
two together.
sunset,
Yeah.
the way I look at her, or a glorified sunflower.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very pretty. So those are just a few of the new plants that we got in. Plus, we just have a really good selections of the Agastache.
That's another one I got.
Yeah.
I got the Agastache display bed. They had all the colors. And so I wanted to show that off because Agastache, most folks don't know what that is.
Right.
Or they know Russian sage, but
Yeah.
Agastache is actually a better plant. I'll see if I can process those 2 videos and post them up on our
That'd be fun.
Instagram, social media, and TikTok feeds. So you folks that are social media folks, you'll get to see that. And those folks that aren't, I'm sorry, you're left out. Like maybe I don't think I can put that in our newsletter. So it's some things are made for social and some things aren't. So
that is true.
Well, we are out of time, Lisa. Thanks so much for coming in and sharing the summer plants. They just get bigger and better as we go into the season. But we're here with a whole lot more. Come talk to Lisa and the crew here at Watters Gardens. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, Kenneth Watters with our Monster Monsoon Sale, our only sale of the year.
Truckloads of fresh autumn maple, aspen, and spruce have just arrived, and we need room, so summer plants must go.
Perennials, trees, shrubs, even pottery must go, and it's worth your while with plant sales at 25, 45, even 65% off.
It's Watters' only sale of the year at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Where people who love great plants at sale prices, they love to shop.
There are some planting mistakes or blunders that rookie gardeners or new gardeners to the area, I find it's a consistent theme. I thought I'd share just a few of them, not all of them. There's not enough time. I'd take a lifetime. You learn gardening by making mistakes, by the way. You can read all you want, tune into the podcast, get the radio show, read the column. We do all of that, and you will become much smarter, much quicker, fast. You want to up your game fast, do that. Just follow me wherever, and you'll get better for this local, regional area of gardening. We'll help you get better. And it's adapting to the sun, the wind, the alkalinity, the north, south, east, west. I mean, most people in the garden in the country are dealing with flat. They don't have north, south, east, west. They have just flat. Here we do have a north side hill. Your neighbors on the west side will be different than the east side, yet that affects you. So how do you adapt to that quickly? But some real key things. The first mistake I find people make, especially if you just retired and you've been thinking about gardening, you've tried a little bit, you finally sold your house there and you bought your dream home here, and now you've got time and the resources to truly dedicate to gardening. It's really, gardening's about time. And so you can do this. What I find, whether it's a new houseplant gardener, new tomato, new trees, new gardeners, they are obsessed about watering. Plants are not puppy dogs. Very few need water every day. Maybe your real shallow containered flowers out on the back deck in the full sun. Yeah, they might. But a new tree, it does not like water every day. It likes a deep soak. These are slow moving. They are alive, but they aren't as active as a puppy, as a new Labrador retriever or whatever. They're not a puppy. It's a tree. And so they are going to take up water slowly. They pulsate water about a foot a day. They'll push water up. So if you're fertilizing a plant it's going to take up those nutrients, and then slowly, about a foot a day, it's going to take it, and finally it'll get up to, if it's a big 12-foot tree, it might take almost 2 weeks for that plant to be fully. So it's using that water, the nutrients, everything pulsates through this plant slowly. And so if you're watering every single day that plant, and you're filling up all those water air pockets with water molecules, that plant can drown. And so houseplants, they do not like water every day. About once a week is about right. Maybe every 2 weeks if it's a real hardy aloe or some of these ZZ plants. These are hardy. That's why we use them in commercial settings, because you can neglect them and they still look great. But if you're watering them every day, they'll drop some leaves, they'll turn yellow, they'll get wispy, they'll stop blooming, they'll drop their fruits. There's all indications of I'm overwatering. Be careful not to overdo it or be overzealous with your watering. When you do give them water, give them a lot. Really load it up so that water gets pushed through the entire root zone. You might even get a water meter to check it to make sure you did that well enough. But kind of watch that one. The other one is, right now, if you're new to gardening, I'm going to have a compost pile. This is great. I'm going to take this and compost it. I'm going to free like mocha gold out there. Well, whatever you do, don't take weed seeds and try to compost them. It's just a problem waiting to happen. So that's a mistake I've seen folks make. They adding these weeds, they let them get too big. They're cutting them off, and they add that composted material. It just takes so long to get them to compost down so the weeds are killed. It's easy to make a mistake. Another one is using free manure. Free manure is great. It's free as long as it's composted first. If you don't compost manure for about a season, or about a year, or at least 6, 7, 8 months, it's very hot. And then typically we're using, this is equestrian country, this is horse country. Horses, that whatever they eat, it comes out the other end. And all the seed are there, all the hay seed, all the straw. I mean, it's all there. And so you're now taking that fresh manure, adding that to the top of your gardens. And now all of a sudden you've got this alfalfa field, not a garden. And now you're fighting the grass coming through it. If you compost it first, it gets rid of all that. Plus, there's this ginormous, I mean, it is the biggest grub I have ever seen that loves horse manure. It gets in there and it's like a 4 to 5 inch grub, white organic. It looks like an alien life form is landed and now living inside this manure pile is going to come up and suck you on your jugular vein. It's just scary looking. Well, they do like to eat the roots on your plants. I've had several customers pick up this glorious new free load in their pickup truck and take it over, add that to the garden. They added the grubs that were living there and introduced them to their new gardens here. So just compost it first, and they're all baked out of that. If you use it fresh, that's just kind of school of hard knocks. I've just seen that happen too many times. I just want to share that with friends. My name's Ken. We're just friends talking over the back fence. This has kind of worked for me. And here's some things I don't want you to make a mistake with. I want you to have better, more successful gardens. Another one right now, gardeners that are new to gardening, they're afraid of pruning, especially this time of year. Don't be afraid. Plants plants are like a beautiful woman. They go to the salon, they come out even more glorious than before. Well, plants, they love to have they like to be frosted and tinted and trimmed and cropped, and they love that. Plants feel more beautiful when you give them a haircut. You keep them shaped. They bloom better if you take those spent, old, raggedy flowers off. They'll bloom again for you. If they got a big old branch hanging to the ground, cut it off. It'll actually grow out of it and come back even more beautiful. So don't be afraid. What the book says, here's the years of education. You can prune up to 10% of the foliage mass anytime you want. Peak of summer, it's going to be 100 today. You can prune 10% of the foliage mass. So that's a lot, actually. That's a major branch. That's a major haircut. In the winter, you're pruning that heavy pruning. So in the winter, when it's dormant, you could prune up to 30% or a third of the foliage mass. That's a major pruning. It's like, I'm going to really thin this apple tree out. I'm going to really cut back this juniper hedge. I'm going to really cut back. Light pruning now, heavy pruning in the winter. Don't be afraid. You can hardly make a mistake with plants. And so you could fertilize your way out of any mistake you might have made. So don't be afraid to cut back. The other one is just ignoring where plants like, or just not talking. We put them in the ground and I ignore them. You got to these are living plants. They're reacting to where you put them in the ground. And so they like certain areas and they dislike certain areas. And if you're not sure, and it starts with sun and shade, those are the obvious ones. I love the plant. I went to the garden center. I went, oh, I love hydrangeas. It's so pretty. And then I go put it out in full sun. Oh, they are not going to like that here. Our elevation just bakes them. I know they do that in the Midwest. But here at this elevation, we're a mile high. They're at sea level. That's a mile's worth of atmosphere of sun that just bakes. You're close to the sun up here, and it bakes your hydrangeas. But if you put them in the shade, oh, they thrive. They just love it. They love the bright reflective sun coming off of there. So you got to put them in the right place, and then you just don't want to ignore them. So for mine, my hydrangea, just talking hydrangeas, this is any plant really though, but my hydrangea, put them in the ground, not in a container, my back patio, north facing, it's shaded, and it bloomed its heart out. And then the flowers started to fade. So I cut them back. I was working with them. I didn't ignore you. Go, no, you felt so beautiful. Let me help you be beautiful again. Fertilize them with we make a fancy fertilizer for flowering things called Flower Power. I know the name's not very original, but Flower Power really does make things bloom well. And so gave it some Flower Power a couple times, and now it is in full bloom again. Just like that. Don't ignore your plants. Put them in, and if they're reacting, help them. And we might have put them in the wrong place, or maybe they got a bug, or maybe there's something in the soil, or it's reacting. Maybe it's just stressed out, and you need to give it a little. There's some additives called Root and Grow that kind of makes things, kind of stabilizes them. It's kind of like an IV for plants. So you can give them an IV and make them come back for you. Plants do not want to die. They will live. If at all possible, you have to kill them for them to die, because they're going to come back if at all possible. And it's just reacting, not ignoring them, but reacting to it and helping them come out of that. Anyway, the blunders. I don't want you to make a mistake. Got more for you right after this.
Watters garden companion plants for August are radio red salvias, butterfly bush, and trumpeting vine.
Large clusters of red and orange flowers create a dramatic show all season long with Watters trumpet vine.
This vigorous vine thrives in heat and blooms profusely with neglect.
Quickly covers large areas as a ground cover, spilling over retaining walls, screening a fence, or cloaking arbors.
Guaranteed to attract more hummingbirds, and only found at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
We've mentioned several heat-loving flowers that just love being planted now. This is when you see them at the garden centers. This is when you should be planting them, not earlier, not later. There's a window for it, and it's summer through fall, and it's your peak window. And most of them are perennials. You plant them once and you're done. They keep coming back year after year. And so this Saturday, that's 9:30, we host a garden class every Saturday. And this Saturday is that we're showing off the best of the best heat-loving flowers that just love this time of year, and how to plant them, how to use them, how to put them in, how to water them, how to care for them. Your gardens will be more beautiful. Next week, what is the date on that? This is the 16th. Next week, the 23rd of August, this is going to be popular. It's one of our most popular garden classes. It's from Newbie to Garden Pro in Arizona. If you're new to the area, or you just want to up your game, you want to know the garden zones, when to fertilize, how often to water, which plants are best for screening. It's technical, but you are definitely going to make less mistakes by coming to that garden class, the 23rd. And then the one I'm kind of most excited about is the 26th. I know that's not a Saturday. That's a Tuesday. So last month, we had our very first sip and shop. It's from 4 to 6. We offered a cheese platter. It wasn't fancy. It was good. It's Costco. Here's a couple platters. It went over well. And some of my favorite wines. And what I really love, sangria. And I'd picked some fresh mint from my gardens. We had fresh herbal mint, strawberry mint tea at the garden center. We just had a sip and shop. We had all of the carts kind of cleaned up, lined up. You can come in with your girlfriends, your neighbors, a date night. It's from 4 to 6. So it's perfect. Come to this and then go to dinner. But it's a sip and shop at the garden center. Last time it was on a Thursday and it was packed. We had no parking. We overdid it. Apologize. Those that came in, turned around. Sorry. This time we're going to go a little lighter, less announcements, less promotions, and it's on a Tuesday. I'm thinking just maybe if you can't make it a Thursday, maybe you can make it a Tuesday if you just kind of trying to give options. But look at that, August 26th from 4 to 6, we're having an after hours sip and shop. And I'll kind of give a tour of the garden center. I'll show off some of the latest, greatest plants, some new things that have just come in, and kind of give you some more garden trivia. So here's where this plant came from. Here's how you use it, kind of stuff. And it's local, just us. And it's very casual. Please come as my guest. It's free for now, unless we pack the garden center up again. Then I might actually put a $5 charge to it or something. I don't know. But for now, it's not next week, the Tuesday after. That's August 26th, sip and shop. And then the very last garden class in August. We go through November, but the very last garden class of August, the best plants for pollinators. If you want to attract more butterflies, more hummingbirds into your gardens, we're going to have a whole selection of plants that just focus on the pollinator, what brings them in, whether it's a monarch, a swallowtail, a painted lady butterfly, or a more hummingbirds floating through as they migrate south for the winter. These are the plants they love to have. And by then we'll start having the fall mix of lots of different plants coming in. It will be a hoot. So please join us. So Sip and Shop, it was such a success last time. I was stunned. And so it's kind of fun. It was also good energy, good vibe. It felt good. It was like a garden party, only with a glass of sangria that you're walking through. It's my favorite time as that sun sets over the greenhouse. The plants kind of take one last breath before they go to sleep. Some of them curl up that time of night, so the leaves will actually fold. Some of them, the flowers will actually close up. You can see them putting themselves to sleep right then, and that's the magic of that time of day. Sip and Shop, August 26th. Throughout the week, though, Lisa and I do camp out here at Watters Garden Center, and we do like talking to fans of the show.
Butterflies bring magic to the garden, and attracting those winged wonders is easy with Watters' Butterfly Plant Collection.
Watters specializes in local plants and knows exactly which plants butterflies adore.
We create a natural, safe, and organic space for you and your beautiful butterflies.
Visit Watters Garden Center at 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
Smell the flowers that butterflies love and turn gardens into a butterfly paradise. For a more fruitful garden, increase success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit wattersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Watters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.